The model works. I mean, is it easy? No. Is it hard on some days? Yes. Do you just have to keep pushing through each and every day? Absolutely. But, once you can get kind of through that first 12 to 14 months, man, it's pretty nice.
Hey, folks, welcome back. We are here with another high voltage business builder. I have Daniel SP with me. Daniel, welcome to the call.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. You are one of our, I think, first featured, what do we call you? A client, a customer, a friend, all of those things?
All those things by this point.
Yeah. So he's here to talk about his story and give you guys some insights into what he's done in the last, 15, 16, 18 months now? Yeah, since we first met. So I'm not going to give everybody the boring details of reading your background. I want them to hear from you personally. So give us a few minutes about you, the guy sitting in front of us.
Yeah, I like to call myself the least likely Amazon seller. I have a bachelor's degree in dirt and a master's degree in Bible, and I had never created a spreadsheet in my life before I got into this business model. So I truly am the least likely Amazon seller. Yeah, just a little under 2 years ago, got interested in the Amazon space. Not so much for me, but my kids. I wanted to teach my two oldest kids how to launch and start a business. And I figured I saw this program. I had been interested in the space, so we just decided to go for it. And ever since then, I have learned a ton along the way about selling e-commerce.
When you said you did some research prior to getting started, what were you doing? What were you thinking? Obviously, your background wasn't in e-com. Why did you decide to tackle an e-commerce business?
Well, I have some friends who do a pretty popular podcast, Wealth Without Wall Street. And so I was just kind of looking for different options they had because they bring guests on all the time of different business ideas. And so I decided real estate wasn't for me. I didn't want that hassle. I didn't want to do land flipping or some other things. I wanted something I could do from home and do with my kids. And so this opportunity to be able to work side by side with them and to sit at a laptop and what we call the laptop lifestyle, that is what was very appealing to me. And, as I've proven out and learned over the last 20 or so months, man, I can run this entire thing from my home and from my laptop, and I don't ever have to leave the house unless I want to.
It's been an amazing experience watching you grow and your children be a part of this, which is fun, having them involved in the community here and watching them fill their own spaces within it and watching your daughter figure out her little area. Can you talk about some of that?
Yeah, I mean, so my oldest son, who's just turned 16 a few days ago, he helps with a lot of the data entry stuff, a lot of the shipping stuff that we still do and moving some things around. My oldest daughter, who's 14, who helped do some packaging early on, she has now ventured off totally on her own. She has launched her own business, Boho Pup Co. If you're interested in dog bandanas in any way, shape, or form, she's launched her own Shopify store. And her and another young lady who I think, my daughter's 14, I think the other girl is 11 or 12. Man, they are always sewing and cutting and advertising, and they got stuff on their Instagram. And they're selling stuff like crazy. So she left dad to go do her own thing already.
So in 20 months, you went from no experience, you said a degree in dirt and theology, to becoming an e-commerce seller. How does that, impacted you personally?
Oh, it's impacted me personally a lot of ways. My kids and I were just talking about this morning around the breakfast table that, I've just grown so much, right? I mean, when I started this, I had no idea about marketing. I had no idea about shipping and freight forwarding. I had no idea about building a brand and how to do all these back-end flat files and spreadsheets. So I have just grown immensely, really in every area of business that you could grow in. Like, there's no part of business that the Amazon e-commerce space doesn't touch when you're launching it and doing it. And so I've just grown in every way imaginable that way. And it's been great. I mean, there have been some hard days. There have been a few sleepless nights wondering if product was actually going to get here from across the ocean and if capital issues were going to work out. But I mean, I've grown in every way imaginable.
Well, let's unpack that a little bit, because everybody, wants to get on podcasts and stuff and just pontificate all the positives and the pros and look at me, look at this, and here's my revenue, blah, blah, blah. You and I both know revenue is just vanity and profit is sanity. So let's talk a little bit about some of the cons. You mentioned one with shipping. Let's give some real expectations of this business to people too, and talk a little bit about some of the struggles that you faced.
So I launched my product Thanksgiving of 2020, and I launched with 1,000 units. And I have a pretty diverse product that just can't be made on a whim. It takes some while. It takes at least 90 days to make it in the current environment and another 90 days to actually get it here over into Amazon. So it's like a 180-day process for my product. So I ordered the first 1,000 units and sold out within 6 weeks. Well, I'd placed an order as soon as I could, but I also had to switch suppliers because my first supplier, they didn't meet the quality expectations. They had a 5% defect rate. And I learned a lot from that. And the new supplier I found has a less than 1% defect rate. So I was glad to tackle that early rather than later on in the process. But doing that and adding 2 color variations, it took 8 months for my next round of product to come in. So there was just a whole lot of sitting and waiting and hoping and wondering. So I launched in Thanksgiving. I was basically done selling by January. I got more product in August of 2021. And by that time, I knew it would move so fast. So then it was kind of the capital restraint. So I got one order in, and I'd already had to place 2 other orders just to be able to meet projections of where I thought things were. And so just dealing with all those shipping things, like I split a shipment. I thought I was being smart by sending half to the West Coast, half to the East Coast, with the West Coast first into my third-party logistics center, and it would get there quick into Amazon. Well, let's just put it this way. That boat sat in the water for 6 weeks once it got there. It took 110 days from the time it left China to when it actually arrived at my third-party logistics warehouse, which was half the time of what it took to get to me here in the state of Florida. And that was kind of crazy for a while. And I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to have all this inventory sitting in a third-party logistics warehouse, but everything has just continued to sell so fast that just in a few weeks, I've almost emptied all that inventory out of the.
So even with the challenges, you're still seeing a tremendous demand for the product.
Oh yeah, I'll say it this way: it's worse than ever.
That's worst case scenario. Running out of product. You actually told us the other day, I believe, on one of our calls. How do we slow down sales? I believe was your question.
Yeah, honestly, I've had to slow down sales, and that's been the crazy thing over the last few days is that I've actually raised prices 5% across the board, and my sales have actually stayed the same number of units per day, which is just below what I was selling during the Christmas season, which is crazy enough. And my advertising costs have actually stayed the same. So I'm basically I have $100 unit. So I'm making $5 more a unit selling the same number of units at the same advertising cost. So it's just an extra $5.
Well, that extra $5 is more than 70% of Amazon sellers' profit when they're operating in the different niches and they're making $5 in profit, and you just added on $5 in profit.
Yes. And so I'm going to give it a few days.
Yeah, let it go. It does. It's just going to work. You should have more confidence now than that.
No, I want to raise it $5 more. I'm just selling so fast because even though I placed another order, I just don't know that I'll be able to get it here in time. And, as we know, the number one thing in Amazon is do not run out of stock. Sell slow is punishment enough, but do not run out of stock.
Yeah, it's a balancing act. And, those are some of the challenges. And you launched during the middle of a situation unlike anything we faced in the world. Yet you're still coming out smelling like roses to a degree out of the challenges. Why you versus someone else? If someone's listening to this and they're either in the fight right now on Amazon or the business model, or they're considering getting involved, but why are you being successful and someone's out? What do you see yourself doing differently than the others?
Well, again, I know this is not an infomercial for you and Reed and for Voltage Business Building, but honestly, that's it. Is that, I got on a phone call with a guy a few months ago, and he was thinking about selling in the Amazon space, and he just didn't want to pay the money, right? And he's like, no, I can just figure it out on my own. And I'm like, dude, you having a community of people with 2 coaches who are actively selling and building brands all the time is going to save you more money by taking that than you will ever save by not taking the course, because you're going to make a $5,000, $10,000, a $20,000 mistake somewhere along the way that could have easily been avoided if you had people with you along the way. So a lot of it is like, I just love the community of people. There are several people in the community that I talk to on probably a daily basis, and we're just always talking things Amazon, different things we could do. We help each other. So just knowing you have people that you can always go to who have either been through it or are going through it is just comforting on so many levels. And it just saves you so many headaches and so many problems along the way.
I appreciate you saying that. I know that in my case, mentors have been a huge saving grace for me. If I'd had some of them in the past, I probably wouldn't have made some very poor decisions in life and business.
Oh, yeah.
And they're always challenging me to level up. And so I appreciate that because they are giving me insight and information that I simply wouldn't gain on my own. And if I did, it's going to take me years and lots of money to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I've appreciated that. And I appreciate what you're saying as well. So as people are, thinking about Amazon and thinking about the future, and obviously you're making some moves in your business right now. Let's talk a little bit about that. What are some of the moves you're about to make in this year?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get it in position to sell. Maximum profitability for selling a business is in the first 18 to 24 months. And I've proven the concept. And so why not just rinse and repeat? Take the payday and go do the next thing. And so right now, just getting ready, get it positioned to sell, meetings with accountants and all those things, because it's become really profitable over the last couple of months. And now it will be very attractive to some buyers. So we're going to get it ready to sell, and I'm already thinking about the next things to do. I'm looking at some distribution agreements with some people who want it, who have really good products and have some patented technology in one case. And one, they're the only person sourcing something else in another case. So I can distribute and sell those things for a percentage. It doesn't cost me any capital, and it costs me very little time once the listing is built. So there's kind of this little built-in model there that I can make money with very little work and no capital. And I don't know about anybody else, but I like getting paid for not putting out capital or doing very little.
You become an Amazon warrior in the sea of betas. So not to make fun of anybody who might be listening to us. You mentioned profit, and I know a lot of people who listen to this are typically investing into all kinds of areas of business and life and finances and rental properties and whatever else. They're involved in mergers and acquisitions. Profit by one person's definition is not necessarily another's. Some might consider 5 to 7% profitable in the business model they're working in the real estate or whatever. What do you consider profitable? What is profitable in your business right now?
Well, again, I just always give real numbers. I know last month in December, I sold $101,000 worth of product, and I had a $14,000 net profit. And what's even crazier is now we're in January, and I'm projected to sell even more in January and even have a higher profit margin now. So it could be as high as 20% like net profit this month, depending on where things go. And once shipping issues come down, it's going to be even more profitable. So I've been able to do this in what is the craziest shipping times. Because I've just recently figured out some ways to cut my shipping costs in half that I didn't know I could do along the way. So that
very nice. More profit to be made on the front or the back end.
Yeah.
But to be very clear, it's all brand driven.
It is.
Who might be you are running a private label business, correct?
Yeah, I am running a private label business, and I'll say, and I'm not doing anything off of Amazon. Like everybody else is getting into Instagram and Facebook advertising and Google advertising and TikTok and all these places. And that's great and wonderful. I just don't have time for that. So whoever buys my business is going to have some awesome opportunities to do those things.
Big upside potential. Absolutely. And that's one of the benefits of an Amazon channel business at this point. It doesn't decrease the potential exit, which we've talked a little bit about in before, and obviously in the trainings, and partly we were discussing it in the green room a minute ago. Those businesses have a 3 to 4x Amazon only channel. If you open to Shopify or you went into those other activities of marketing, should you decide to do that, you can get a percentage point up every time you open a different channel, even if it isn't the top selling channel. So, but obviously you've made a strategic decision to go ahead and move on the sale, it sounds like, which is cool because we're going to help you with that, which is going to be fun.
Yeah.
See that go to market. And then you're going to go back and do it again, which is amazing. You're the classic case study. You're the perfect student. I could use 100 more of you. I'm building some more of you right now.
Yeah. There's some guys along the way. I was talking to one guy yesterday, and he was blown away because one person placed an order for 40 units of his one product yesterday, and so that's
cool to watch.
He was really excited about that.
So, if anybody who's listening to this right now and they're questioning the model or everything that's going on, what would you say to them? Like if they were just out there thinking ECom, they've been searching for a few years or whatever they want to decide to do, what would you tell those people?
Yeah, I would tell people the model works. I mean, is it easy? No. Is it hard on some days? Yes. Do you just have to keep pushing through each and every day? Absolutely. But, once you can get kind of through that first 12 to 14 months, man, it's pretty nice. I mean, right now I spend an hour or two a day on it, and that's kind of because I want to, but I don't have to. Prime example on Sunday, and Sunday's usually my best day. Like I didn't even, I'm a pastor as well. So I didn't even look at it on Sunday, and I went on Monday morning and logged in, and I had my first $1,000 net profit day. So I literally did no work whatsoever on Sunday, and Monday morning woke up to a fresh $1,000 profit.
You were doing a different kind of work.
Yeah. So it was, it's just really cool that once you get through, so you got to be able to do the hard work and not get paid. And actually, it's worse than not getting paid. It's putting out capital for the 12 to 14 months. But then once it starts to do it, it's like, oh man, now I get to reap the reward of it. And there's just so many products that you can sell on Amazon.
Yeah, it does build on the back end. I think that's a good point to draw out here because people might argue the difference between private label and wholesale and drop shipping and these other kinds of models. What's your opinion of all that now?
Well, again, I'm one of those people that I'm a sucker for drama. And so probably like every other day, I get sucked into the seller forum on the Amazon Seller Central page. And I read all the problems people are having. And it's always drop shippers.
It's always the drop shippers.
Every one of them has got their account suspended and they're having all the issues. I hardly ever see private label people having those issues. So it's like, if you want to drop ship and do retail arbitrage, I can just tell you, go look at the Amazon seller forums, and I promise you, you won't choose to do that.
You won't be doing it anywhere near Amazon. Yeah. It's against their terms of service, and it has been for a long time. But I know there's quite a bit of drama in that area, as you said, which we don't, we don't do. We did a long time ago. I'll admit, if anybody looks it up, once upon a time, we ran a 20,000 square foot warehouse with 12 employees and a full FBA wholesale division. And we were moving about 10 trucks a week.
Wow.
That was all in past tense. If you didn't pick up on that, that was all shut down. Not because Amazon shut us down, just because the model does not maintain the profitable level that you mentioned, 20%. You can't get that. We got maybe 7% after all of our overhead and stuff. And we ended up working 80 hours a week, pushing it uphill, which felt like a snowball in January. Going down, but that didn't come out right. I felt like a snowball in August. That's what I meant to say. It is January.
I'm in Florida. We have no snowballs. It's 65 and sunny outside.
Yeah. Okay. Pushing a snowball in January in Florida.
Okay.
It just kind of dissolves in your hands. So that's very cool. Well, Daniel, I appreciate you coming on, sharing and being transparent as always. And, I'm honored to be in your company and sincerely appreciate where you're going and all the good things you're doing. So thanks for joining me on the call and sharing some with everybody today.
Yeah, you're welcome. You guys sign up. It's worth it. It's awesome.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.